Thank you, Ryan. I am Amy Stack. I am a Market Center tech trainer. My role at the office is called the Director of Technology Engagement. I do that for 2 offices about 20 miles west of Chicago. So I'm happy to get you guys connected with any Chicagoland agents if you need help in that area. I work out of the Downers Grove and Glen Ellen market centers specifically. We're part of the E2P group, which we have 5 market centers and 2 business centers. So I do help about 1,200 agents, but 350 are my core group. I started at the front desk. I was agent services. I did marketing. And the whole time I was there, I joined Keller Williams right when they announced Command. And I was very passionate about it from the beginning. So as this new MCTT role came to play, I slid right on in there. I said, I'm going to take over that. And it's been great. I do weekly classes that you guys are always welcome to attend every Wednesday, 10:30 Central. I do some sort of marketing class. Sometimes it's command-based, sometimes it's social media, sometimes it's a mastermind. So we have people from all over the country hop on that. So you guys are always welcome to join in those. And everything I do is recorded and on my YouTube channel. So you can find me at youtube.com/thesocialstack. And Ryan, if you could do me a favor and just add that to the chat, that would be awesome. But that's a little bit about me. I've been in real estate since 2012. So if you were paying attention to the math, I was not with KW first. I'm so glad that I made the leap. And today, like Ryan said, we're going to be talking about marketing assets and preparing your stuff so that you can get as much done in one time block as possible, whether you want to do for a full year or a whole month at a time. I'm going to go over a couple of different options for you, and we're going to do what we can with the servers being down. I have other resources I can refer to you as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Unless anybody has questions before we get started right off the bat about me. I don't think you guys care about that though. No. All right, I don't see anything coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And the first thing I wanted to start with, because we can't get into designs at this very moment, is I wanted to show you guys inside campaigns that you actually have this really cool tool where you can schedule your posts ahead of time. So if you are newer to Command, on the left-hand side, you'll see this little megaphone here. That's our campaigns button. So that's all I've done right here is just clicked on campaigns. And then I want to go to social posts up at the top, kind of in the middle. This is my dashboard to let me see anything that I have scheduled coming up. Now, I don't use it out of this account, but I'm going to show you how you can set up a scheduled post. So at this point in time, when you come here, what you want to already have done is kind of thought about what content you're wanting to create and have your graphic ready to go. That said, one of the most frequently asked questions I get is, what if I don't use designs for my graphics? Can I still use this scheduling system? And the answer is absolutely yes. You can upload your graphics from anywhere that you want to, as long as, of course, they're not too big and they're the right size for the platform you're putting them on. So I think that this is an awesome feature to start the day with, because it doesn't matter if you have all your graphics ready to go. If they're not actually scheduled, nobody's going to see them. Am I right? So in here, we're in social posts. This is my dashboard to give me a nice little overview of what I have coming up. So to add something to your calendar and schedule that post, you just need to come up to this Create Campaign button in the top right. So with that, we have a few different options, and those are all different types of campaigns you can run through Command. Today, we're talking about free ones. So we're going to click on social post right here, and you can see, I told you I haven't logged in to my Facebook here, so I'm just going to reconnect that. If you guys have not connected to your Facebook page, you'll get this message too. It'll either say connect or reconnect if it's been a while. And I'm just going to tap that button and choose the business page. Yes, it has to be a business page that you connect to that I want to post to. So I'm just going to hit reconnect here. You can also do this through your settings. If you click your name in the top right and go to settings, you can connect Facebook that way as well. Then, oops, sorry, I got a pop up over here. Then from here, you can actually, very similarly to if you were right on the platform, you can go and type whatever your message is right here. And we have a couple of options to upload content. So we have images, videos, and links. If you have an image that's in your designs library already, so it's already created, you can check off that little bullet right there, hit Browse Designs Library. And here I have a market update that's ready to go out. I just tapped on that market update and it's going to load right into the system. Maybe we're thinking because of the servers. Here we go. It did work. Look at that. So this is something that I've already created inside Designs ahead of time. And you can see it's a sample one. I just have the DBA logo. If you guys had actually gone into Designs to create that, you would have the ability to swap out your Market Center logo, add your own logo, customize it in any way you saw fit. And I have the option at the top to choose what type of layout I want. So currently I'm on square. If I want wide, you can see the crop changes a little bit, and I can drag and drop the grid to where I want it. Now this graphic is obviously square already, so doing that wide one probably isn't the best fit for me. So I'm going to stick with that square, and I can zoom in and out too if I want to. I'm just going to hit crop, and now you can see my image is loaded in there. It does tell you right underneath that you can actually load up to 4 photos at a time. So you can add more. And if you want to upload something that you've created outside of Command, you just switch over to the Upload Image button, hit your little plus sign, and then I hit, this is everything in my downloads folder right now. So like here's a mastermind I have coming up. I made a graphic for. And I can just hit crop image. And now I've pulled that right in from my computer. So it doesn't have to come from Command specifically. You can still use this feature without that. Okay. And then similarly, you can do the same thing and upload your video links and files, your video files directly here, and any links, whether you want to link to a website resource, maybe you want to link to a popular search on your KW site. That could be a fun thing to put right in there. Or if you have a link to a YouTube channel video, you could put that in the link section as well. Then we have our compliance feature. So if you don't already have your Market Center logo on your marketing pieces, you'll want to leave this in here. Check with your brokers to make sure you know what the rules are in your state. I know everybody's a little different, but I always tell my agents just leave that on there if they don't have our brokerage logo already on the image that they created. And you can choose if you want it on the left or right side of the logo. You can see on the right side of the page here that this DBA, that is what's coming from my graphic that I pulled in. And if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, that's the one that's actually coming from this section that's asking about where I want that logo positioned. Now, since technically I already have it inside my original graphic, I can just click the X on it and that will go away. Like I said, if you don't have your logo in there, make sure you keep that on so that you don't get any fines. We don't want that. The fun part, to help you keep this scheduled throughout the year so you can sit down one day and maybe plan a whole month at a time, or if you want to do a whole day of social media and you want to plan out the whole year, if that's what's best for you, you can use this schedule feature right here. And instead of hitting publish immediately, you can choose the schedule post button. And you have your publishing time right here. I can come over to the right and hit my calendar. And you can see I can go through different months. I can even say what specific time I want it to go out. And that's going to go out at your time zone. So I'm Central Time. So this would be 10 a.m. Central on February 2nd if I scheduled that. And then again, you have the option to connect to multiple business pages. Whatever you've already connected in Command, you can check off the places you want it to go to. And there, that's because I just checked it off and on to a different account. So we're just going to go through that again. And you can also connect more accounts if you want to. So like I have a business page for the Social Stack. So if I wanted to schedule something for the Social Stack through Command, I could absolutely do that as long as I pulled in my Facebook permissions and allowed Command to have access to that. Once you're all done, you would just either hit Save Draft or Schedule Post. So save means it's not actually scheduled. You want to come back to it later and maybe update something. So I'm going to hit that one first so that if you do that, I'm going to show you how to come back in so you can actually go update that in the future. So that took me right back to my social post dashboard. You can see I have a couple drafts in here. And on the right, we have quick posts. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. But what we saw before was live scheduled posts. So when you come into command, you hit campaigns and you go to social posts, it's automatically going to take you to this page right here, live and scheduled. And if you have things that you've started and you want to go finish and schedule, you're just going to hit that draft post and everything you've drafted already will be available. So this is the one we were just working on. All I have to do is hit those three little dots, edit post or delete if I don't want it anymore. Go ahead and hit yes. And I'll be back into that editor and I can make the changes I want and then hit schedule. I'm going to schedule it. What date did we do? February 2nd, right? Yep. Okay, so schedule post. And now it's taking me back to my calendar. You can see I'm looking at 1 week at a time right now. This is this week. You can see today is highlighted in blue. And I can toggle from the week to the month. And then I can toggle through my months as well. So now you can see I have something scheduled at 10 a.m. on February 2nd. How simple was that? It even prompts you to post things for other days on the week that you're viewing. And I told you we'd come back to quick posts on the right-hand side, whether you're in this live and scheduled or your draft section, you'll still have these quick posts. These are posts that have been created by the Keller Williams International Design Team. So these are professionally crafted posts for you, and they're suggestions on things that you can put on your social media accounts. So we've already got a graphic in there and some text. I can click on it to get more information, or I can hit shuffle and I can get different options. I can hit this little guy here to share, and it will take me right back into that editor. And now it's all prompted. All the text is in the system already. My logo's in there, the graphics in there. And it's suggested this day and time, but I can absolutely go in and update that if I want to. So let's say we did that one on the 2nd. Let's do one on the 4th. That's my husband's birthday. Just want to make a birthday post for him. And then again, I can hit schedule post. And if we go back to the month view and go to February, you'll see I have 2 posts scheduled for that week now. That's pretty simple, right? So that's how you can get them scheduled. A question I get a lot is, well, what if I want to post things other than on Facebook? There are lots of third-party schedulers out there. I'm not going to tell you which one to use because it really varies a lot based on which platforms you're using and what type of content. So for instance, Instagram has, a straight post on their main feed. There's you can do reels, you can do stories. There's all kinds of different posts. And do you want to do video? Do you want to do static content? So there's different third-party schedulers that can help you with that stuff. Some are free, some are paid. So it really just depends on what your end goal is. If anybody has questions, feel free to reach out to me. It's just Amy Stack at e2psuccess.com. I also have lots of videos on my YouTube channel about those types of things specifically. Like I said, just I don't like giving a broad answer because it varies so much depending on what platforms and what type of content you're putting out there. So that's about the scheduling in general. I do suggest that everybody creates some sort of calendar for themselves. So you can see in command, I'll pull that screen back up. This does give us the ability to look at a whole month at a time if we want to, which is great because then you can see how many days you have stuff scheduled for. One thing that I do is I just like to use a Google Sheet. And I say, Mondays, I want to do motivation. Tuesdays, I want to do a market tip. So I just kind of give myself a theme for the day, right? So then I don't have to come up with brand new content and try to figure out what's going on. It helps me to have a kind of a narrow focus on what I want to post for that day. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys that could be very helpful for coming up with content, because it's like, great, you're telling me to, plan ahead of time, put all of my stuff on a calendar, but what stuff am I posting, right? Outfront, I hope everybody's heard of Outfront. If not, this is our digital magazine, digital publication at Keller Williams. Outfront magazine has started publishing content information for each month. So every month you'll get an update from KWRI that has content for you, or ideas on inspiration on what type of content to create. So this is in the information that Ryan put in the chat, this link right here. So this is the December one. It's December 7th already. So you can see if I scroll down, here's week 1. All types of different ideas on how you can craft content for your social media. Now, obviously this won't give us a year at a time. However, a lot of these things, like coming soon, you can post different coming soons throughout the year. You don't only have to post that one time in December, right? That's a great thing to use multiple times. Same thing with the neighborhood snap, which is something I want to show you because I think I have one that's already created inside Designs. We're going to test this out here. So if you guys have not used Designs yet, it's the little paintbrush on the left-hand side. So we're going to just tap on Designs. This is showing you everything I've already worked on. And there's 2 things I want to point out. I'm in this drop down here because you can see we have different types of templates. We've got email, social media, print, and video. So if I go to social, you can see that these are all the different social media templates I've already created in this account. And I bet if I look at out front here, if I get down towards Christmas, it's going to say, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, right? There's some holiday graphics you can post. So inside Command, you will have the opportunity, I think I passed, there's a New Year's one, here's a Christmas one. We have lots of holiday templates for you to use. So in Designs, what will happen is when you hit Create Design, we'll get a whole list of different categories on the left-hand side, and one of them is holiday graphics. And you can go in and put your own logo on it, or just leave it KW branded, whatever is best for you, as long as you're compliant. I'm going to say that a lot. So that is one thing I wanted to point out, that again, that professional marketing team has developed these for you. So you do not need to recreate the wheel. It's done. Just go snag it and pop it right into that platform for you. Make it nice and easy. The other thing I wanted to point out is video. So if you were not aware, we have this really cool tool that lets you make a stats video based on a local neighborhood. It takes less than 5 minutes to put together. I'm going to show you one right here. You can see it says Mike's real estate update. We also have, I have a Lake Ellen one, Yorktown. So I'm going to see if this works. But if not, you can at least see the type of information that's in that video. So all of this will pre-populate for you. And it is connected to our Nextdoor neighborhoods. Is anybody familiar with Nextdoor on here? You guys can put it in the chat. You can unmute. I see Ryan nodding. You guys are familiar. Great. So
Nextdoor.
What was that?
Nextdoor is great.
Yes, it is. And one of the big differences about Nextdoor that we have access to is that it helps us become that hyper local agent. Keller Williams, if you weren't aware, has we're the only company. What is the word I'm thinking of? We're the only company that has this connection with Nextdoor. So yes, thank you. Exclusive. I don't know. My brain is not working. We have an exclusive agreement with Nextdoor that we can feed our data that anybody can get from the MLS, but to a specific Nextdoor neighborhood or on a specific Nextdoor neighborhood. So if you guys weren't aware, anybody that has access to the MLS can pull stats for an entire zip code, right? That's something we can all do as agents all over the place. But with Nextdoor, we can provide that same statistical data for a hyper local area. So that means that we can provide information, square footage, average days on markets, for that specific block radius that people really care about. Because, you know, things east and west of Main Street, the towns might be totally different markets, even though it's the same zip code. So by using that Nextdoor connection, we're able to really hone in on the data in that small radius of where people live. So this is a video that we've already created, and all of these stats pulled right from the MLS, but it's for a very specific hyperlocal area. So I'm going to see if I can download the video. There we go. It is working. And then I'm going to unshare and reshare so you can see that. And
so all yes, except for the Bowie.
It's opening up right now. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. Don't judge my messy desktop.
That is, it's, you
Okay, I'm
know,
gonna play this video and it's less, you can see it's only a minute long.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of websites that- Value performance.
I think when you hit share, it didn't share sound. So just so everybody knows that there is usually sound playing along with this as well.
Oh. Hang on 1 second. Do it again. We want the sound. That makes it more fun, right, guys? Share sound.
Question, when selecting the neighborhood, is it actually neighborhood or is it like, I'm trying to type a neighborhood and it's not pulling it. It's more like
That's a
beach.
great question. So it's going to pull the next door neighborhood. So you will need to know the name of the neighborhood per next door to pull that in. Sometimes if you type the town in, it will give you a list of things in that area as well. So you can pick through those too. You do have the opportunity once that pulls up to actually rename your video as well. So you saw on my videos that I'd already created, one said Lake Ellen. That was the name of the neighborhood. But this one said Mike's real estate market update or something like that. So I customized that to say Mark's update or Mike, I think it was Mike's. And that way we could see exactly what we wanted the public to see versus just a generic town name. It makes it personalized to you. And I'm gonna hit share again. You guys hear the music now? Perfect. All right, and you can see you will have your branding at the end too. Now this I think is a really powerful tool, one for social media, of course, and you can ask people when you post the video, do you want to see what's going on in your market? Leave me a comment, send me a direct message, whatever you want to put your call to action there. This is a really great tool to use in listing presentations as well, because can you imagine walking into a seller's home and saying, I already put this video together for you for your specific area, and them to be like, oh my gosh, this is like a professional. How long did it take to put this together? You did this. I haven't even signed the listing yet. It just really makes you stand out from the crowd. And that's something you can share on, like I said, on social, via email. You can text the link to people, and it's just a quick 60-second shot right there. So did that help answer the question about the neighborhoods too? Did that get answered?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Found it.
okay.
Looked it up
Perfect.
or copied the name from there.
Awesome. I love it. So yeah, you can just search for next door to find those local neighborhoods. But that was one thing that looks like it is working currently in designs, which is great. But that was on the out front article. It said to share a neighborhood snap. So that is one way you can do it. There are snap static graphics inside designs as well. However, I like that video because, in the world of content, video is king. So that helps stop the scroll. Kind of has some kind of fun imagery going by and people are going to be like, oh, what's this? And they'll stop and click on it. All right. Another question I get a lot about what do I post is,
Amy,
yeah.
before you get into that, I want to address one of the questions that's in the chat.
Oh, sure.
Besides, how do you use the next door connection? We also have another in there, a comment from Dave about how clever the video is, but when they combine homes and condos, this lowers the average. So I want to make sure we point out the fact that you don't have to use the information that's put in there. If you know that the data is wrong because they're doing that, because there may be condos and homes in there, you can go ahead and adjust those. Somehow you got muted too, Amy.
I think I hit it on accident when I was trying to share. There we go. All right, so here's our neighborhood search. I just click create, and this is so I'm in designs, I'm hitting create, and I chose video. So when I'm in here, we'll do Lake Ellen again. And when is And here's Lake Ellen. I'm just clicking the neighborhood I want. And this next screen, you can see all these fields are selectable. So you can absolutely go and do some market research on your own if you don't feel that that information was 100% accurate to what you are trying to share with your viewers. You can also update your information and your brokerage information right there as well. So this is where I took that opportunity to switch it from Lake Ellen to, I had Mike's real estate update, or you can do local. Maybe I do Lake Ellen market update. And then you can do the same thing with any of these. Say, okay, there's actually 10, right? Or maybe it was condos, so it was really, there's only 6 available because 2 of them were condos. You can update your neighborhood features as well. There's a whole list in there.
Awesome. What are some of the other ways that we use Nextdoor?
Oh, yes. So one of the ways I like to use Nextdoor in designs is through our print designs. You can pull up stat data like this to put on a flyer or a door knocker or a postcard. But my favorite way is the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan. I know that you guys have some smart plan classes going on, so I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but I'm happy to dig into that a little bit more if we have time. Do you guys use that? If you want to put in the chat, yes or no, does anybody use the monthly neighborhood nurture right now?
Take a picture. Keep it close to your heart, because when she turns 15, you're gonna want to shoot her. Yeah. A little.
Ton. Ryan said a ton. Okay, good. So that is the way that I like to use it the most because it's automatic, it's customized to those people. And if you weren't already aware, as people are clicking through the links in the email that they receive, that actually shows up in command in their timeline. So you can see exactly what people are looking at and kind of get a feel for if they're looking at things in other areas, maybe they're looking to move, right? Maybe they want to buy a vacation home. So you can use that as a reason to reach out to people. Don't tell them you were stalking them and looking at their history, but just give them a call. Hey, did you have any questions about the market? Or I just wanted to touch base, do something like that. And they'll be like, oh, I was just looking at your email. And I'm like, well, were you? I had no idea, right? You can use that as a trigger to get out there. And I see a question came in the chat. Says, I just want to create a video for a market update like this. Is anyone else experiencing a problem where the video won't load? I can keep clicking next. So mine loaded, I think.
Same, the video didn't load. It said try again in 10 minutes.
Okay, so that could be linked to that Amazon server error because this is still part of that designs section inside command. Yeah, I'm not getting an error, but it is not going to the section to prompt me to download. But what will happen is it will show up in your designs right here in the designs that you've already created. And if you use this drop down and go to video, you can just hit those 3 little dots and hit download. Or we have some other features here as well. So we want Amazon to fix those servers and you guys will get that functionality back. All right, so that was one thing. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying I'm checking every 2 minutes for you. So
oh, thank you. So I think that these monthly updates from out front are going to be an amazing tool for you guys. You also get some communication kits, client communication kits that come out. Depending on what's going on in the market, sometimes they come a couple times a month, but if there's ever anything big, refis were really popular. There was a communication kit about that. There was communication about doing online client events when it was, towards the beginning of COVID. And they had graphics and PowerPoints and all kinds of scripts for you that you could copy and paste or update to customize to you. So keep an eye out for that too. Again, that's all content that's already curated for you, ready to go. One of the questions I get a lot, especially with talking about social media, is, hey, I don't want to only post business, or I'm not sure how much business to post versus how much, personal stuff do I want to share about me. And I like to use the 80-20 rule with that as well, especially if we're on our business page. We want to do 80% business posts. However, that doesn't mean 80% just sold, just listed, coming up, all that type of stuff. People are like, great, you're working. I'm happy for you. How is that adding value into their world, right? And the way I like to suggest people to get around that, not get around it, but be able to still add real estate value without just telling people that you're working, is to be able to provide things. Of course, we want like our winter, well, you guys don't have winterization tips in Florida, but in Chicago, we have to winterize. And, you know, clean up and curb appeal. People get that all the time. But adding things that's more about what's going on in your local neighborhood, right? Feature a local business. Go interview somebody who's got a local shop. Meet with a lender, meet with an attorney, talk to somebody who's got a resource for somebody in the gig economy. That is huge now, right? People are Ubering, they're waiting tables, they're musicians, right? They don't necessarily have a 9-to-5 W-2 job, right? You guys fall into that category too. A lot of you do. So what's a resource you could provide to that clientele that could help them get a mortgage? Come up with stuff like that. Figure out what your niche is and see what people are looking for and what they want to learn about their niche. Does anybody, you guys can unmute or put in the chat, does anybody already have a niche that they know that they work, and what is it? Nothing? All right, so I'm going to use one as an example, like a VA, right? Somebody who's a vet. You can do posts about services to vets in your area. You can work with a lender who's VA certified or offers specific VA loans. You can go to businesses in the area that offer discounts. We have a barbecue restaurant in our area that has veteran parking, kind of like expected mother parkings at baby stores. They have veterans parking up front. So go talk to those type of people and share that information with your database. Oh, I saw something come in the chat. The direct area I live in. Okay, so Valerie, you farm your area specifically, right? So that means go talk about your day. If you go to a local bakery or a coffee shop for fun, you know, it's just a place you like to go, just tell people that you're there, take pictures and share that, right? That's not necessarily saying, hey, buy or sell with me in this town, but it's showing that you provide value because you are a customer in that town, right? You support local, you're doing the local things that other people like. So just show that you're there. And oh, I see you said yes, support small local businesses here. I love that. That just shows that you're ingrained in the local culture, and it puts that another layer of validity into your business as well. All right, so that's what I like to do with like the 80-20 kind of suggestion. I also like to tell people to make a list, and you guys can do this right now. Go ahead and write down 3 to 5 things that you want to be known for. And that can be business or personal. And while you're doing that, I see another question came in. So I want 3 to 5 things that you want to be known for.
I was in a house once like that. But we did it bad, and you know that.
Okay, and then I see a question came in. Do you recommend a separate personal and business for Instagram and Facebook? For Facebook, I absolutely do, because you cannot run ads on Facebook without having a business account. For Instagram, I don't think you need to have a separate one. You absolutely can. It's again, if you're sharing things on your personal Instagram that you don't necessarily want to share with your business followers, then keep them separate. However, I do recommend that everybody has a business Instagram, because you, with the business accounts, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever, when you get those business accounts, you instantly get access to analytics to see who's on, when they're on, what posts are performing well, which ones aren't, all of that type of stuff that can really help you in your long-term marketing strategy. So I do recommend having business profiles. You get lots of extra features there. Okay, so I hope you guys all have your 3 to 5 items now. I can tell you, for me, I'm a dog lover. Like I like bourbon and craft beer, so I do a lot of tastings like that. Obviously, marketing and social media are some of the things that I'm known for. So to help you with your content, you keep your list of 3 to 5 things, and you make sure that everything you do ties back to one of those items every single time. right? So it can be your hyper local area. It can be your real estate business. It can be your kids, right? It can be kayaking. It doesn't matter. Let people get to know you a little bit more, because the more you let people in, the more authentic you come off and the easier it is for people to relate to you. I've had my YouTube channel up for about 1.5 years now, and I have people come up to me at events that I've never met and tell me, like, they're in my agent group, but I've never met them in person, and they come up and tell me that they feel like they know me already. And they knew that I was the one they wanted to come talk to about marketing or command questions because they've already been watching my videos. You guys can have the same thing happen through real estate by sharing some of your personal resources or your personal stories. That will also help you attract people that you kind of vibe with. You don't want to work with people that drive you up a wall, right? So if somebody has the same interests and hobbies as you, chances are they're probably going to be more on the same wavelength as you and work better with you as a client. So it will just kind of help draw out those people that you already would be likely to have a good connection with. So that's my list of 3 to 5. And feel free, you guys, go ahead and put in the chat what some of your items are. I'd love to see them. Nobody wants to chat with me, Ryan.
They're just typing.
While you guys are doing that, the next strategy tip I want to share with you is the rule of 5s. Has anybody heard of this one already? The rule of 5s? I'm looking through cameras. No. So the rule of 5 is 5 minutes before you post, reach out to 5 people and contact them with 5 words or more. So 5 minutes before you post, 5 people, 5 words or more. This will work on any platform, but this is a great tip to help beat the algorithm. It will allow you to, the way social media works, any platform wants you to stay on your platform. And they think that if I'm already talking to Ryan and then I go post something, Ryan probably wants to see what I posted because we already have that relationship because we were talking previously, whether it was through a comment or a private message. So when you talk to somebody before you post, they will be more likely to see your post, whether it's from your personal page or your business page on Facebook, because the algorithm sees that you've already had that relationship. And so they're like, oh, these guys are already talking. So they probably want to know what's going on in each other's worlds. So that's why the 5 people, if you want to take that up to the next level, reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a long time or on your chicken list. You guys know what a chicken list is? When you're too scared, too scared to reach out to them on the phone or something, right? Thanks for laughing. So reach out to them if you, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, so that was going to be my question. I think you just answered it, but is there a strategy to who you should choose? Because I've tried this and I feel like, again, because I guess other people are on my chicken list, or I really don't want to start a conversation that I don't want to have throughout the day. I'm often challenged by who to do this 5, which 5 to poke. So should it be different people? Should it be people you do know that you have a good relationship with?
That's a great question. So the whole point of it is to get the 5 people that you're talking to are the ones that you're targeting to get in front of next. So if you're talking to people that you are already talking to, that's not changing the algorithm at all, right? So you want to reach out to people that you haven't connected with on social media. If you're talking to them in person, but you're not talking to them on social media and you want to get your social in front of them, absolutely reach out. And it could be a direct message. It could be going to their personal profile and seeing that little Johnny had a concert and you can say, oh my gosh, that looks like so much fun. You know, my kid just did theirs or has theirs coming up, whatever. It doesn't have to be real estate related, just 5 words or more. Emojis do not count as words, but they're fun to put in there. So you can use emojis, just know that they don't count as your word count. Same thing with like GIFs and, memes, any of that stuff. You can absolutely use them. They just don't count towards your word count. And this will work on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not sure about other platforms. It probably works similarly. But yeah, so your 5 people. And the reason 5 minutes before is to beat the algorithm. And then you want to do 5 words or more because that's when the algorithm recognizes that it's a true conversation. It's not just a yay, love it, something like that. It's probably more purposeful. Did that help? Perfect. And then Ryan, I thought I saw you waving, but I also see some questions in the chat. Valerie, what hashtags would you recommend we use? Oh, that's a great question. Hashtags with millions of posts can cause our post to get lost in the mix. That is so true. Right tag is a hashtag generator, but costs money. Give me 1 second. I have one on my phone. I will tell you it has a free section of it. It will always ask you, do you want to pay to upgrade? But you don't have to. And it is, I always forget, hashtag expert. It's a white app with a pink hashtag on it, hashtag expert. And you can get all types of hashtag recommendations on there. I do have a whole video on hashtags on my YouTube channel. And actually, let me just take this time to kind of walk you guys through some great resources, I think. On my channel here, I have a playlist button, and I have a 66-day challenge for social media. We go over setting up business pages for Facebook, Instagram, and a YouTube channel. I also have Let's Talk Social Media Strategy. That's where you can find conversations like we're having right now, and hashtag information. And you guys will notice that I have towards the top some more of my short stacks. So these are videos. All of my content on my channel is marketing related. Some of it is Facebook, Instagram, not specifically command, but some of it is command specific. So you'll see that in the names here. But all of my short stack videos are 10 minutes or less. Most of them are 5 minutes. So they're nice, easy ways to break down little bite-sized pieces so that you can quickly get the information you want, get in, get out, and go do the thing and move on with your day. But here with my Let's Talk Social Media Strategy, you can see there's a hashtag conversation, how to build your brand, tips to beat the algorithms, how to stay consistent. So these are all good resources about social media specifically in that playlist. You guys, I'm like super close to hitting my goal of 1,000 people by the end of the year. So if anybody wants to go subscribe, I would love that. Little shameless shout out there. Oh, thanks, Valerie. But to dig into your hashtags, so at a glance, I guess, I do recommend that everybody comes up with a hashtag that's specific to their brand. For example, mine is hashtag the social stack. I don't think anybody else in the world is using that, right? That's my brand. So the reason I have you guys do that is, one, it helps build your brand, right? If you guys didn't already know, mine is Live the Florida Lifestyle. I love that, Ryan. Hashtag Live the Florida Lifestyle. That's a good one. So the reason you want one that's custom to you is so that, one, people can search for that hashtag specifically. So if you both go onto a social media platform and type in hashtag and whatever the hashtag is, it will pull up all the posts that have that hashtag in it. So it's a great way to find you if somebody knows that they're looking for your information, or somebody can, reach out to you on social and search that way. The other reason I like to do, or I guess I should say another reason I like to have that branded one, is I always use that one first when I'm posting. So hashtags are different all over the place. You use a ton on Twitter, you use a ton on Instagram, you use way less on Facebook. You kind of use them on YouTube, but it's different. You don't really see them. They're kind of embedded into the videos. But using that branded one, when it's in front of people and it's the first one that they see, it's just re-solidifying your brand over and over and sticking it back in front of their face every single time. The social stack, the social stack, the social stack, right? Florida Lifestyle. So that means every time I say Live the Florida Lifestyle, I'm going to think of Ryan, right? So that's why I always tell people to do a custom one and have that one be your first one. But you are absolutely right that you don't always want to use ones that are super popular, because if somebody goes and looks or follows that hashtag and they look for that hashtag specifically, could be millions of people using it. So your post just went from the top down to the bottom in like 10 seconds. So it's a good idea to mix popularity of hashtags, which is what some of that hashtag app could be helpful for. It will tell you how popular they are. Does anybody know what the most popular hashtag is on Instagram? Or it could be different on different platforms. Any guesses? Most popular hashtag. Give you a hint. It's love. Hashtag love. So that's a fun one to put in there to get in the popularity mix. But then you guys, especially being agents, you can use geographical hashtags. It doesn't just have to be the town. We have an arboretum near us. So if you're doing something near the Morton Arboretum, you can tag that. You can tag your county, your town, like we were talking about Lake Ellen earlier. So popular landmarks, and that will again remind people that you're that hyper local expert, right? And it will help pop up in places when people are looking for things about that town. So that's just like a quick little overview. I like to use your branded one, do some local ones, do some super popular ones, and do some that are less popular to get a nice mix of everything. You can go ahead and check out that video to get more details on that. It's getting very loud behind me. Okay, I just wanted to pull up something on my other screen for you. So I know Ryan told me that the email templates are working in design. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of switch modes a little bit and show you what that looks like so that you can get back into command a little bit. Does that sound good? All right. So I'm still in designs here. I am going to just hit my create design button. You'll always have that unless you're already in design. And we looked at video before. I'm gonna go ahead and just tap on email this time. So if you guys are following the MREA models, you know that we should be having a 36 touch program to reach out to our clients to help stay in front of them, to get referrals from our sphere, to just stay top of mind for anybody that's in our database. And email is one of the ways you can do that. You don't only want to do email because you do have a lot more engagement and interaction when you are making phone calls, doing text messages, doing pop-bys, all of that, direct mail, that all works into your 36 touch program. So this is just going to be one piece of that. So I have just clicked on email, and in the top right, I have the option to create a new template. So that's if I want to start from scratch. However, tying back to that awesome marketing department that we have at KWRI, we have 72 templates that are already created for us and ready to go. So I can go ahead and hit load more, and I can see lots of different content that's in here.
I just need to get through my movements.
So if I'm looking for something like a newsletter where I want to put, you know, popular designs right now or a market update, I could look at these newsletters and put some of my own content in there. However, if I want something that's pre-written, has some great graphics already, I can look at ones like tax day, refinancing. This is one we talked about a little bit earlier. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that refinancing one and then hit next in the bottom right. So you can see it's got my picture in there. It's got an article all written for me. And then it's got some funky looking stuff at the bottom and this weird little market center thing at the top. They're really not weird, I promise. If you hit the eyeball at the top right, it will show you a preview. All of that kind of weird looking stuff is actually going to feed in. They're called merge fields. So all that info is going to feed in from your marketing profile. So if I hit the eyeball, you can see now my logo is up at the top. If I go to the bottom, there's all of my branding information and my legal footer to keep me compliant. And then again, more contact information. So for that one, we really didn't have to do much work. Now, if I did want to edit something in there, I could absolutely just click. Maybe I don't like this image. I can click on the image. I can hit my pencil. I can hit replace, and I can load in these images that you're seeing right now are things that I've already loaded into the account. If I want to add something that's already on my computer that's not in command, I can just hit add images and browse from my computer, whatever I have saved onto it. I'm going to hit cancel because I don't have something to put in there right now. But there is this lovely feature called listing images. And you can connect to your MLS and pull in information from your listings. So if anybody has a live listing right now, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm going to show you another template that it'll come in handy for, but I would love to use somebody that's, you know, got one active right now, active listing. So what you'll do is anytime you make a change, you'll hit done. On the right is where you edit everything. And let's see, click here. Done. I'm gonna click on my text. All of your editing, like I said, will go on the right. And once you hit done, you'll see it reflected on the left-hand side. I like to hit save every time I do something. I'm just a little neurotic about that. So done and save. So done populates it so you can see a preview. Save locks it in place. So you want to do both, because if you get distracted, somebody comes and asks you a question, your phone goes off and you haven't hit save, it might not be there when you come back. So I always, every time I hit done, I hit save. And then I can go ahead and hit save and exit. And this has been populated for me. It's created. I'm ready to use it. Whether I want to send it out as a bulk email through campaigns or I want to connect it to a smart plan, it's now built for me. So I'm going to hit save and exit. And when I'm back in designs here, if I want to filter all types to email, here it is right here, classic refinancing. I didn't rename it. You can absolutely do that. And then you can see the last edit date. And one of the things I really like to share with people is that when I click the three dots here, I can make a copy. So if I've built a template that's custom to me and I don't want to have to recreate that every single month or every time I want to send out my custom template, I can just hit make a copy and edit a few things instead of rebuilding the entire thing. Is that a time saver or what? I see something came in the chat here. Oh, web address. Oh, Shannon. Okay, let me pull that up. You said that the web address doesn't come through. So it actually does. I think this is what you're talking about right here where it says website. So on the preview, none of the links are clickable. Okay, so what happens is when you send this out, website is a clickable link that will take you to your website. And if you really want to test that feature, up in the top right, we can hit options here and hit send test email or download template. So if I hit a send test email, it will actually email me a copy. This will be a little faster for right now. So here's the downloaded template. And now I can click website, and I don't have a website, so that's why that didn't work. But yours would work. Same thing, I also don't have an app. But that's how you can test that feature out. I hope that helps, Shannon. Okay, so I didn't see anybody put a listing in the chat, so I'm going to just find one. I'm going to hit create design, go back to email, and you'll see that some of these templates are for listings, for open houses. Here's luxury. If you guys are considered luxury agents, there's luxury templates in here. Let's do, trying to find here, one that is not a luxury one. Here, let's do this just listed right here. So I've just clicked approachable is the style. You'll see there's three styles. There's modern, approachable, and classic. So when you guys find a style you like, always look for that same word so that all of your stuff matches. You know that everything will be a cohesive brand decision for you. And I'm on approachable, just listed. Again, you can see my logo will filter in here. And we've got all this information kind of ready to go, laid out for us. So if I click on this image and I go to replace and I choose listing images this time, I can look for my listing, and you can see in this drop down here, I can search by address, MLS number, or KWLS ID. You have access to any MLS that Keller Williams has access to. So if you are wanting to do something to build some referrals across the country, this is a great way to use that. Show people that you can service them all around the world, right? Connect them with agents anywhere that there's a Keller Williams. Or you can feature your own listing or your own open house. And here's there's a bunch of Florida ones. They know that I'm talking to you in Florida. So I'm gonna, these don't look like they have fun photos here. Let's do this Aspenwood one. So I just click the listing I want.
You know what? My ex's family.
And you can see I have access to all the photos that are on the MLS. So let's say I want to use this front picture. I just clicked on it and it's got that blue outline now. And I'll hit replace. And I'll hit done, like I said before, and that popped right in there. I did not have to go to the MLS, find the listing, download the images, upload them to command. All I had to do was hit edit and then replace. Oh, I'm already open. Replace and then listing images. And you can find everything from the MLS right there and it'll feed right in for you. So you can do that with these pictures as well. In other parts of design, you can even feed in this type of information where it's got the address, rooms, beds, baths, all that kind of stuff. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save on this. And then close out of it. And then Shannon, you can market any listings from any state. Yes, you can. Check with your brokerage again. Just make sure that you're following compliance rules on that. I know that that varies. Sometimes you need to have something in writing when it's not your listing. So just make sure you're covering your tush on that. Once you have your email, so that's step one, of course, is having the email. You need to be able to send it out, right? So as I mentioned, you can do that through campaigns. That's that megaphone. And you can do create a campaign. And we can choose email. And you can name it, you choose what your goal is. I use command email. You get 5,000 free emails a month. And you can search for people by tags inside your database. So to me, that's a lot more time saving than going to MailChimp, connecting the account, downloading the people you want every single time, changing your audience, blah, blah, blah. So I just like using the command email one. Hit create campaign. Oops, I didn't name it.
The buyer's agent, because he was not.
And then I can choose my recipient list if I've already had one created, or I can create a brand new one. And this is where I can search by tags.
Just communication versus like, oh.
Let's say I want to send it to my Downers Grove agents. That's my tag for them. And I can just select the people I want it to go to.
I'm like, no.
Right? You can see they're all checked off automatically. I like to date mine because this will not update with a new tag. This is a static list. So if you are adding people to this tag month to month and you're sending this list out, sending an email out to the same list every month, you'll want to update the people that are on it if you've added new people to that tag. Does that make sense? This is static for the tags. So I'm just going to hit confirm. And now you can see I have my list in there, my reply to email address. And if I want to edit that, it will take me to my settings in command and you can update it right there. I can put my subject line in there. I'm not actually going to send this one. And then we're going to hit select design. And you can see all of the templates I've already touched, pulled right up. And I can just hit my approachable just listed. It's going to give me an opportunity to give it one more look, make any more edits that I might need to do, and then hit save and exit. And now that's pulled up on the right-hand side so I can see what email I'm sending out. I again have the option to save this draft and schedule it, or I can hit send. Okay. I'm not going to send this one, so I'll just save it as a draft. But what did just come out fairly recently with command emails and smart plan emails, so it doesn't matter if it's campaigns or smart plans, from here on my campaigns dashboard, I can get email metrics. However, if I go to reports right here, I love this, you guys. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to this stuff. Go to reports. Up at the top, there's going to be an email button. And you can see all of your email metrics. So you can see up at the top here, we've got purple is campaigns, orange is smart plans, and blue is other. So I can see of my 136 emails that were sent, 88.9% were delivered. Oh no, I said that wrong. 136 were delivered out of 153 sent. One was undelivered, and then why was it undelivered? Who was it? If I click the details, there it is. So I can figure out, did I typo? I did. I missed an N in this guy's last name. So now I know I can go back and correct that. I can see not only how many were opened, but who opened my emails. That one didn't refresh. There we go. These are all the people that opened my emails. I can see what applet I sent it from and what email it was that went out. You can see I use smart plans more than campaigns. Same thing for clicked, replied, and unsubscribed. You get all those metrics. So I think that's a really powerful tool. All right, and I know we're a little off topic of planning our year out ahead of time. However, even though we were talking about social media at the beginning, as I mentioned with your 36 touch, you want to have multiple types of touches. So you can plan out, you know, 3 posts a week on social media, an email a month, that's 12 emails, your monthly neighborhood nurture, that's another 12 touches and 12 emails, right? So you can be planning all of this throughout the whole year. So it seemed like we were getting off topic, but we weren't. You see how we came full circle there? So you can use lots of different pieces in Command to be able to market for the whole year. One of the big ones we didn't touch on yet was direct mail. And I'm just going to give you a quick overview on that. There's lots of different things you can do. And just like our other pieces, you can create designs outside of Command and feed them into this direct mail option. I do have full tutorials and classes on my YouTube channel about this as well. And if you guys aren't already familiar with answers.kw.com, that is my go-to resource when I have a question about Command or anything KW related that's technology, and I want to get some information. And I know Ryan had posted some links at the beginning of the class. If you don't mind resharing, I had some specifically about designs, social posts, and paid ads as well. So in campaigns, I'm in the megaphone. I'm just going to show you how to access the direct mail features. You can absolutely use templates from designs for postcards, or you can have a template outside, Canva, Adobe, whatever platform, you know, publisher you want to make a design on, and you can feed that right in. And if you want to do something property specific, there's templates built right into the direct mail feature. So I'm in campaigns, top right, create campaign, talking about direct mail. Here we go. Again, we're just going to name our campaign. And today we're going to say we're going to attract listings. Or no, here, let's do attract buyers and then create campaign. That goal setting, it's just for you to keep track of what you're doing. The public doesn't see that. It doesn't change your offerings on this page at all. So you can see here, I have a few different options of things I need to populate into my postcard. So I can choose to select a template that's already in the account, or I can upload my own design. So if you have something from outside Command or something from InDesigns, you can use this upload designs option right here. Otherwise, I can do a template that's already built into the system. I just choose what size postcard I want. Type in my information.
It is. You can build that.
You know, whatever you want in there. Obviously, you want to put your call to action or your mofer. And you have up to 1,000 characters for this section here.
Okay. He's got a whole architectural. Oh, drawing. Okay. Wow.
And you can upload more images. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and hit upload. And we'll use, there's a class I had or have coming up. Oh, that's my class tomorrow. And I'm just gonna hit save. And all my market center information. It is sensitive. You do need to do the capital state initials here. Oops. I'm doing this. You need to have the capitals. It is case sensitive for that. So you just put your market center address in there. It'll have you verify the address and targeting. Okay. So I'm going to slow down a little bit right here. On the right-hand side is all of our previews. So everything I put in content is now reflected on this right-hand side. I'm looking at the front. I can hit the back and I can see the back information as well. So this is all a nice little preview. And you can see at the bottom of that, I have the option to turn this tracking on. So I can hit that little toggle and it will add a QR code to my postcard that people can scan to get more information. And you will just put in the landing page that you would have already created inside Command right here. So let's say we've been talking about Lake Ellen, so I want them to go to Lake Ellen stats. So now it will take them, when they scan that QR code that's going on this postcard, it will take them to my Lake Ellen stats landing page. You can also not use that feature or build your own QR code and upload it in your design that you upload to this little section here. So once you have all of your content selected, come down to targeting. And if you're doing this around a property, if you want to do circle prospecting, you can just put in the address of that property. This is my Glen Ellen office.
Yeah, and then somebody.
So I'm just going to do some circle prospecting around the office. You also have the option right here to target your database, which means if you have people's addresses in there, which you should, so you can send the monthly neighborhood nurture and know where they are and how you can help them, you can target your database and send postcards directly to them instead of an entire farm. So there's two ways to use it. I'm going to show you the wider targeting right now, because obviously if you're targeting your database, you know who it's going to. So we'll hit save on targeting. And you can set a budget. So how many do you want and how much do you want to spend? Are we doing first class or standard? So standard will be a little slower. First class will go out a little faster. You do have the opportunity to update your quantity on the next page as well, and the standard. So once you hit save here and configure targeting up in the top right, you cannot come back and change this screen. So you need to make sure that your content is ready to go before you configure your targeting. Okay, so we're going to say we're super happy with this. We're moving forward. Yes, I want to create the campaign. We do work with real mailers. So that's the company that prints for us, but this system will actually print, put postage stamps on, and mail the postcards for you. You never have to touch them. So the targeting is a really powerful tool. We can do a radius of an address, draw, and do a polygon. And you can change the number of people you want to go to and change your very specific data points. So if I know I'm targeting people who I want to list a home, I'm going to look at somebody who sold probably 5 years or more ago. I don't need people that just, sold last year. Then again, I can choose standard or first class. I always send a copy to me, hit next, and off it goes. Just put in my credit card information. So that's a quick overview of the postcards, but that's another touch for you. So you guys, we talked about a lot of stuff today. We talked about social media strategy. We talked about designs, social media a little bit, email templates in designs, touched on postcards a little bit. We talked about neighborhood nurtures. We even talked about how to schedule your posts ahead of time. So we covered a whole bunch of stuff. I want to remind everybody that I do have lots of information on my YouTube channel about this. Answers.kw.com is a fantastic resource. And if you guys have any questions for the last 5 minutes of class here, I'd love to open it up, and I would love to hear what some of your ahas are today.
I like the 555.
Ryan stole my answer. And
What
at
about the
least
555?
okay, great. That's right. Let's deep dive for a second. That we absolutely should be doing this with people that we choose or we'd like to engage, not just the people we feel comfortable. Hashtag, what's it called?
Your chicken list.
Chicken list? No, none of that. So that was definitely helpful. I will do that from now on.
Awesome. What is something that somebody wants to put into action this week?
Subscribe to Amy's site or YouTube page.
Yay! I like that one.
I need to get her to 1,000.
I'm super close. Yes. So thank you, Yvette. I saw that you said lots of great info. I appreciate that. So yeah, you guys don't hesitate to reach out. Your tech teams are also great resources for you. You've got an awesome regional tech trainer here. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me, to your team. We're here for you. There's lots of stuff out there, and we want to help you guys reach your goals.
Hi, Amy. What is your YouTube channel?
It is youtube.com/thesocialstack. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat again.
We put it in the
Thank you
chat.
so much for that.
Again.
I know if you come in after we put it in there,
Yeah,
it
sorry about
doesn't
that.
save. No, that's okay. I appreciate you asking. Oh, we both put it in. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
If you guys are interested in my weekly classes, I'll put that link in here too. E2Psuccess.com is my group. Oops, somebody's watching me. I hear it.
Sorry about that.
So E2Psuccess.com is my group of offices website. And if you go on the main page and you scroll down, you can see our class list. All of the Master Your Marketing classes on Wednesday, those are mine. You're all welcome to attend those. I always do Zoom or hybrid. So I'm happy
Also,
to
that
help.
she has a 66-day challenge in there as well, and the links in chat as well for that if you want to go try the 66-day challenge.
Yes,
which
absolutely.
I didn't watch all the way through it, but I'm assuming that's kind of like Marty's, where there's bite-sized pieces that you can work with. All right.
Yep, exactly. I broke it up into 3 sections. So it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, how to set up your pages. So it's literally from scratch, how to get started. So I do how to get started, some popular tips and usage questions that I get, and then we talk about analytics on all of them as well. And then the last couple are general strategy videos.
Awesome.